It's The Exchange on the beats of Gay UK. Cameron Cole, Big Brother winner 2018, and the programme's youngest ever winner is on Gaydio with you right now. Cameron, hello and welcome.
Hello, thank you so much for having me again. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for coming on. So let's just dive straight into the good stuff. I just need to know, is Emma Willis as nice off screen as she is on?
Yeah, no, honestly, she's absolutely brilliant. A really, really lovely person. What you see on the television with her is genuine. What you get when we were backstage after the show and in between bots, she used to come up to me and speak to me and congratulate me and go out of her way to do it. She really didn't need to do that at all. But no, with her, she's genuinely as nice as she seems. She's honestly so down to earth and such a lovely person. So
what about Rylan then for a bit on the side? Were you seeing a lot of him backstage then as well?
Yeah, you know, I had a really nice chat with him. He gave me some advice going forward and stuff like that. You know, he spoke to me about the show and you know how I came across and stuff like that. And he was really, really sweet. And obviously, we're both big fans of the show, so we kind of related on that level. We related on other levels as well. So no, he's really nice as well. They're both incredible people. They're, like I say, it's nice to see that with them two, the way they are on television, exactly how they are off television. Yeah, you know, they're that nice. You know, they're welcoming. They're not like looking down. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. They're really, really sweet people, and I really appreciate how they work.
So let's talk about the house then. Have you seen all the episodes back?
I've seen the vast majority of them, and I know what has and hasn't been shown, if that makes sense.
Oh, right, okay.
I feel like that's the question you're about to ask.
Yeah. So was there anything that went on that we haven't seen?
I mean, the big thing when you watch it back is that the arguments or the conversations that you have, some of them go on for like 60 minutes, and they'll chop them down to 1 minute, because of course you can't have a 60-minute conversation in a 60-minute show. They do it well enough so that you get where it was. The message is totally accurate. There was a task there was a Thinkers and Doers shopping task where they literally missed out a whole massive task that we did in the garden. And I think a lot of that was because it was the same episode where there was that massive argument in the hot tub. To be fair, there's no arguments that are sticking out of my head that I think, well, that hasn't been shown. There's little spats, little stuff that maybe don't get shown. But at the end of the day, there is only 45 minutes and it's impossible to actually get everything in. But they do put in almost everything that they can conceivably put into that 45 minutes. And obviously they've got storylines that they're following and stuff like that. They didn't miss out anything massive.
So you did have two quite strong relationships in the house. Let's first of all talk about you and Kian, because obviously he's openly gay, and he was from the moment that he went into the house and always has been. From watching his conversations with you, there's that one particular conversation that he had where it is clear he knew what you wanted to say, but you wouldn't. Yeah. Did you know that he knew?
Yeah, no, I knew he knew, and I knew he knew, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get you.
We were on the same level. It took about 10 minutes to get on the same level. We got on the same level that night, so he knew.
Why did you feel that you couldn't tell him? If you sort of realised that you were both on the same wavelength, what sort of held you back from saying it there and then?
I think because obviously Lewis had helped me out massively in the house, and I hadn't 100% told him yet, if you know what I mean. I wanted him to be the first person in the house that I told, because it just wouldn't feel right, if that makes sense. Nothing against Kian at all. Because you know, Kian was fantastic as well, but I just, because Lewis had helped me out, because I was the one that, you know, I confided in him first. I didn't want to, like, you know, I don't know, I just didn't want to defy his trust, I guess, and his loyalty, if you see what I'm saying. Of course. So I wanted to kind of tell him first, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't really know whether I was still going to do it. It was all messed up in my head, because I was thinking, well, in theory, everyone watching this is probably already knows, because I've probably aired this. So my family, my friends, and everyone's going to know. So the only people that don't know now are, weirdly enough, the
people in the house.
Yeah, the people that I'm living with. Yeah. That's what made me feel really weird and uncomfortable. I was like, this is ridiculous, because everyone else knows, but I'm lying to the people I'm living with. I'm not lying, but I'm do you know what I mean? They're not knowing that. Yeah. It was just, and I thought, what am I doing here? And I needed to try and sort it out. I just couldn't, in that moment, I couldn't figure out how I was going to do it. Yeah.
And when you sat down and you spoke with Big Brother in the diary room, do you feel like you can actually open up to Big Brother, because you're not seeing an actual person? You're speaking to someone, but they're not really there.
Definitely, it's actually scary.
Is it?
You know, there's obviously that little camera that looks at you, and you know, you open yourself up. They're very clever with the questions they ask. That they can get the stuff out of you that you need to get out of yourself. Not that they want to get out of you, but what you need to. Because obviously, in the diary room, you can spend like 45 minutes in the diary room and they never air it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's there to try and help you through different things, to work out what you're feeling and how you feel about different people and stuff like that, to help them when they're editing it, to make sure everyone's sort of edited accurately and the way that they're actually being and how they're acting in the house. Yeah. So yeah, obviously that conversation that we're talking about, I guess I just opened up, and I guess I didn't think it was going to come across as obvious as it did, and because having watched the show, I knew not every diary room conversation was aired by any stretch of the imagination. So delusionally, as I was for the whole experience, really, I didn't think that was going to be aired, and obviously it was. And in hindsight, I mean, I'm glad it all was. I'm glad with the way it went. The way it's designed, because you're so enclosed and stuff like that, and you're with people and you're getting close relationships really, really quickly because you're living on top of each other, figuratively, not literally.
Of course.
You know, so you feel like you can open up and stuff like that, and then you just forget about what they're there to do, and that it's actually going to go out to everyone who's watching.
If we're talking about Lewis F then, you and him did seem to get along so well.
Yeah.
How did that even come about then? Because I think people were sort of assuming that you'd get along with Kian or Thomas more just because of the things that you could relate to.
Yeah.
But of course, Lewis is straight, and you got on like a house on fire with him.
I think that's a really good thing. And I think for me as well, I think that was like with everything. I don't know. I personally was worried about how straight people would be with me. Do you know what I mean? So when the fact that he was so supportive and so incredible, I think is really inspiring. If only there were more people like him to help people like me out. Do you know what I mean? It would be really, really helpful. He was incredible, and it was one of those things that we walked down the steps and the doors opened, and it's like we looked at each other, and it was just like instantly this like brotherhood connection. I can't explain it, and it was both ways, and it was very bizarre. And no, I'm so grateful he was in there, and without him in there, the experience wouldn't have been the same. It's still been incredible, don't get me wrong, but it would have been the same. So yeah.
Do you find it really comforting getting support like that from someone who is straight?
Absolutely, because I think that's one of the things I personally worried about, because you know I was into football back at high school and stuff like that, and I always used to think to myself, if I ever come out, are they going to be friends with me? Are they going to be weird with me, uncomfortable with me? Since I've come out of the house, I've gone and played football with my straight friends, so to speak, and they've all been fine with me. And one of them drove me down there, and he said in the car, "You should never have worried, Cameron." I'd never had an issue with that. And he was one of the people that I was worried about, because somebody mentioned something at school a couple of years ago. He said, "You should never have worried. It's not going to change anything. I love you as you are. We're mates. We can laugh. We can joke. I can still rip into you. You can rip into me. Like, there's no difference there. I can still talk to girls about you. You can. Do you know what I mean? It's amazing. And the fact that Lewis was in there and that people got to see that on television, I think is really, really good as well. But straight people, sometimes I just think they feel like, how do I react? Do you know what I mean? And I think Lewis showed that you don't need to react, and you can just act totally normally. You can just be totally normal.
We're going to be talking more about Lewis and a little more from the Big Brother house as well. You're listening to Joe Wilmot and Cameron Cole on The Exchange on Gaydio. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to The Exchange on Gaydio. You're here with Joe Wilmot and Cameron Cole, Big Brother's youngest ever winner. Obviously, we do have to talk about that iconic moment that's got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views. A friend of mine actually came and showed me the video. We were in uni the following morning, and a friend of mine brought this video up to me and said, "Have you seen this?" And I don't mean to sound really pathetic, but it was really emotional to watch. Like, you could tell you were so wanting to say something. Yeah. And then Lewis asked you, what was that like? The moment you just said the word yes.
It honestly was such a relief, and the reaction and that's why I think all my emotions came out, and I cried like a baby, and I looked ridiculous. But it's just everything just came out, like the 4 years just came out, because I knew there and then that was it. Then it was not over, but that chapter of it, do you know what I mean? The coming out was over, and and now it was known. And then the reaction of the housemates was just absolutely incredible.
The reaction was probably one of the strongest things.
Amazing.
It was brilliant to watch. Why do you think that you could go through with the process of bringing it all up? What sort of allowed you to do it?
The thing with it is I wanted to tell family and friends and everyone before I went into the house. Typical me, I put everything back to next day, and the next day became next week, and then before I know, I was actually in the house. So obviously, then you can't actually contact people in the house. And I honestly expected to be able to get through it and not mention it and not say it, and then worry about it when I was at the house and sort it out after that. But after about day 2, day 3, it was just totally and utterly consuming me. It's 24/7. You can't escape. At home, you can go in your room, you can escape, you can cry. Do you know what I mean? You can escape it. Whereas in there, you can't. You go in the bathroom and start crying, they'll call you inside the diary, and they're very aware of how you can't hide these things. It was just consuming it. It was affecting my experience. And this was a dream that I'd had since I was like 10 years of age, going in Big Brother. And I didn't want my sexuality that had been causing me issues for 4 years to ruin this dream. And I just wanted it to be done, and I wanted it to be over. And the supportive house, they were so incredible. They were so sweet to me. They were so nice. They were so supportive. Even taking the whole coming out thing away, they were always really, really supportive of me. Obviously, I was the youngest housemate in there. They were very, very helpful, very sweet to me. Helped teach me how to cook and stuff like that. I mean, I didn't do it very well, but that's beside the point. So I wanted to do it for them as well, because I wanted to be honest with them, and I wanted to be open with them, and there were certain discussions I couldn't get involved in because I wasn't being open about things, and it was just, do you know what I mean? It was just causing issues, and I thought, I don't want this to affect my dream and consume me completely, and it was consuming me completely, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to move on and finally put the last 4 years to bed and and hopefully the reaction would be okay by the housemates, and it wouldn't make anything, you know, it wouldn't go weird or anything like that, and it didn't. I mean, they were amazing. I can't thank the housemates enough, because I'd have never done it without every single one of them.
There are, though, some quite cynical people out there who were, we've seen the tweets of people who were suggesting that it was a plan from the start and it was all in a bid to get votes. What would you say to them?
I think the Oscars are in the news at the moment with different things. So I think if that is the case, and I think I need an Oscar. I mean, look, it is what it is. People are going to have their opinion. I've watched Big Brother. I knew, I never once thought I was going to win. Even when I was sitting on that sofa next to Akeem and I was in the last two, and they started chanting my name, I still didn't think I was going to win, and that's the God's honest truth. I never once thought I was going to win. So it wasn't a game plan for me to win, because I never thought I was going to win. I always thought I was going to go the next week and I was going to be up the next week, and then I was going to get. That's how it always was. So it was never a game plan. I didn't think about it that deeply, because I wanted to be myself 100% for the first time. And obviously, I did what I did in there because of the housemates. I wasn't thinking of this massive, ridiculous game plan. And the people that suggest it, I'm going to take it as a compliment, because it's quite, you know, they're taking me as someone a lot more intelligent than I am. But no, you know, it is what it is. People are always going to have those opinions and stuff like that. But I think most people, you know, who matter, and most people who've seen it know the truth, and the support and the messages I've got from people has been amazing. So I'm not gonna listen to the 2%, even though your brain sometimes does listen to the 2% more than 98%. I think I need to listen to the 98% and forget the 2% cynical people. Speaking
of messages, we've had a message in from Ellie Calderbank from Manchester. She says, "Hello, Cameron. Absolutely loved you in Big Brother. Thought you were amazing. Anything you want to say to Cameron while he's here with us? You can tweet us or message us through the Gaydio app as well." Cameron, thank you so much for coming in today. Really appreciate it. And we will see you hopefully again very, very soon.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me.